Thanks for joining me. I'm Josh Knight at ridewiththeknights.com. Today I will be sharing with you my tips on how to determine what motorcycle is best for you. First off, let me share a few reasons why it is so important to choose the correct motorcycle, and then later in this video we will go over how to do so. Let's begin by discussing our goal. Personally, I ride and race motorcycles because they provide unrivaled satisfaction and joy to my life. My goal is to continue enjoying that with my family and friends for the rest of my life. A motorcycle is a beautifully designed instrument that allows me to accomplish that goal. I want to help you make an informed decision when selecting your instrument. In this video, I'm going to share my 5 steps to help you choose the best bike for your needs. These steps can be applied to any level of motorcycle rider, from the first-time buyer all the way up to a seasoned racer. All of us as riders need to revisit this subject from time to time to ensure we are getting the maximum value and joy from our equipment. Some riders may find that one gem of a bike that just does it all and it never gets old. Others may find that in order to get the most joy from riding, they need to continually try new machines or alternate between 2-stroke and 4-stroke every so often. Whatever your personal preferences may be, take them into consideration while following these steps. Step number 1, budget. Riding motorcycles is a significant financial commitment. New dirt bikes can be upwards of $10,000 or $12,000. My advice is, if you are a first-time purchaser, to plan on anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 for your first bike. That is a minimum price range to get something used that is actually running. If you are an experienced rider looking to upgrade or simply get a new bike, then you know where your budget fits in. The point is, set a budget. You know your needs and your finances. If done correctly, you will be able to purchase a motorcycle that provides exponentially more value and joy to your life than your initial investment. Step number 2, riding environment. Determining where you will be riding and how you go about riding in that area can play a significant role in what motorcycle you should purchase. Every person has a different riding environment. Your riding environment is composed of many items: the location, type of terrain, how you intend to ride that terrain, who you will be riding with, how long you ride, and the typical climate. All of these things may vary based on which state you live in, what access you have to public riding areas such as trails, tracks, and open OHV areas, what the climate is like, and what discipline of riding you enjoy. You may be a motocross rider, you may be a single track trail rider, you may love to go to the sand dunes, or you may like to ride everywhere like me. Taking all of this into consideration can help you decide what motorcycle is for you. Each riding area presents its own set of unique features. These features demand different strengths from each motorcycle. Some important features that you may need to consider about your riding area are the following. At what speed will you be riding? Slow, moderate, or fast? What level of technicality are the trails you will be riding? Mild, moderate, difficult, or extremely difficult? What locations will you be riding in? Mountains, desert, tracks? What type of climate will you be riding in? Who will you be riding with? How aggressive do you intend to ride? Mild, moderate, heavy, or even racing? It can be exhausting attempting to think of all the different things that can affect your riding environment. Don't fatigue yourself focusing on every minute detail. You know your experience level and a general idea of how you plan to ride. In fact, one of the biggest factors in my personal decision of what motorcycle to ride remains in the knowledge that I ride a wide variety of terrain, almost all terrain. This has consistently guided my choice of motorcycle for years. Many of you may be in a similar position as myself. You may ride a very wide variety of terrain and will be faced with choosing a motorcycle that does many things well. Others may be able to narrow their riding environment to a few specific zones. Either way, here are a few things to remember when considering your riding environment. Remember that different motorcycles are more conducive for different types of riding. In my experience, some of the most important features to have when trail riding are electric start, or a bike that's easy to start, light, nimble feeling, kickstand, heavy flywheel, and a large gas tank. For motocross, I would prioritize responsive motor, traction, corner ability, lightweight, and quality suspension. For desert racing, I have found that a very responsive motor and quality suspension, combined with some of my favorite off-road features such as electric start, large gas tank, and 6-speed transmission, work well for me. These are a few simple examples of features that have worked for me. There is limitless information on the internet regarding every model of dirt bike ever made and every possible combination of aftermarket parts available. It would be impossible to create a video or tutorial to accurately cover all of this material. Rather than discuss exact details in this video, I hope to provide a general outline of how you can prioritize your needs based on where you plan to ride. Step number 3, skill and experience. Being honest with yourself and recognizing your current skill status and past riding experience can help you determine what is the safest and most enjoyable route for a future dirt bike purchase. First, let me get one thing out of the way. You do not need the fastest bike to be the fastest rider or to enjoy riding at all. Your motorcycle does not determine your riding capabilities. Your equipment is only 10 to 20% of the equation. The remaining portion consists of mentality, skill, and technique, all of which are increased through practice. Remember this, whether you are a first-time purchaser or an experienced rider looking for a new bike, the bike does not make the rider. Essential skills such as clutch control and throttle control will only become more important and have greater consequences with larger displacement motorcycles. Now, taking this into consideration, all motorcycles serve a purpose. A brand new 450 4-stroke serves a great purpose. All we need to do is determine what the best fit is for you. Step number 4, mechanical experience. Recognizing your mechanical abilities, past experience, and accessibility to service, whether that's through a friend or a mechanic shop, are all important things to consider when purchasing a new dirt bike. All motorcycles require service. No matter what motorcycle you buy, whether it's new or used, you will be spending time working in 3 main categories of mechanical service. 1, general maintenance. 2, repairs from damage. And 3, part failures. Whether you decide to resolve these with your own hands or with the help of a mechanic shop is your choice. Personally, I am a strong advocate of learning how to fix your motorcycle yourself. However, I do understand that everybody is in a very different position with resources. My dad has been an amazing example of diagnosing mechanical issues, problem solving, and using the correct tools to fix our own motorcycles. Granted, we are by no means professional mechanics, and it has taken years, even decades, to accumulate all the different tools we use. Everybody needs to start somewhere, and by learning one thing at a time, you can slowly build your mechanical skill set. Here are some important things to consider mechanically when buying a new dirt bike. 4-strokes have more moving parts than 2-strokes. Therefore, in the event of a motor failure, there is a chance it can be more catastrophic, involving more parts, which equals more parts to replace, which equals more dollar signs. 2-strokes have a more simple design and are generally slightly easier to work on and maintain. With a few exceptions, the majority of engine development the past 2 decades has been with 4-strokes. There are only select manufacturers that even develop new 2-stroke models. When looking for a new motorcycle, there will be more 4-stroke options. Over the past decade, most 4-stroke motorcycles have been converted to EFI, or electronic fuel injection technology. Although it has been proven to be more reliable and provides more consistent engine performance, in the event of a failure, it can be more difficult to diagnose the exact issue if you are not familiar with basic troubleshooting techniques. The major theme for step number 4 is to consider your mechanical abilities and whether or not you intend to be working on your motorcycle yourself. Consider your resources. My advice is to seek a friend or fellow neighbor that has mechanical experience. Learn from them. In chapter 3 of this course, we will be discussing mechanics, and I will share with you many skills needed to perform general maintenance on your motorcycle. Step number 5, 2-stroke versus 4-stroke. Now, I understand that this subject deserves its own video entirely. Don't worry, in the next video we will cover this topic in greater detail. However, I do recognize that the division between 2-stroke and 4-stroke motorcycles is the most prevalent difference of any in the motorcycle community and is often one of the leading factors to deciding what motorcycle to purchase. Let's make one thing clear. Neither one is better than the other. They are just simply different, and both have advantages and disadvantages. Now, because I feel that this difference is so significant, I have actually included this as its own individual step within the purchasing process. The reality is, if you have ever had a conversation about buying a new dirt bike, chances are you discuss the pros and cons between 2-strokes and 4-strokes. For our purposes, we are going to simplify some of the most notable differences between the two in order to help direct you in purchasing your new dirt bike. 2-stroke pros. They are lighter weight, more maneuverable, simple design with less moving parts, and generally easy to start. Cons: they require more clutch and throttle modulation. The power can be difficult to control. They require jetting knowledge and the vibration. 4-stroke pros: wider power delivery, less vibration, increased engine braking, less wheel spin, and more traction. Cons: heavier feel, more moving parts, and more difficult to start. This is a very watered down list of some of the key differences I feel exist between 2-strokes and 4-strokes. Use this information to help determine what motorcycle is best for you. In the next video, we will share our experiences with 2-strokes and 4-strokes. Well, there you have it. Those are my 5 steps to help you make an educated decision on what motorcycle is best for you. There are lots of dirt bikes out there, and the truth is, you can have fun on all of them. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out, and we will see you guys in the next video.